woman's husband had been dead for 5 years, but today he suddenly appeared in front of her eyes. The woman couldn't believe it. She thought she had been overly sentimental and misread, but the moment the man took off his sunglasses, the familiar face made her even more sure that this was her husband. The woman was overwhelmed with joy. She was about to go up to him to identify him, but she found that there were other women behind him, and she also brought her children with her. What's even stranger is that the other woman looked exactly like her. This instantly confused the woman. But who is the other woman? Why does she look the same as her? She even lived with her husband. In order to find out what was going on, she quietly followed the other woman, but before she had a chance to observe, she found that her husband had already gotten into the car and left. She was about to miss the chance to meet her husband, so she immediately asked the chauffeur to take her to catch up with her husband, but he had already received a new customer order. He simply refused. As she watched her husband walk away, Mary was reluctant. She remembered that her husband had been killed in a car accident 5 years ago. Without that accident, she would have been married to her husband for 5 years, but the woman beside her husband seemed to be a substitute for her. This made her deeply curious about her husband's sudden appearance and this woman. When she returned, she started to search for clues about her husband, but she accidentally found the identity information of the mystery woman on the internet, and her daily photos of her life with her husband. Even their wedding rings were photographed and posted on the internet. What she didn't expect was, she also found a photo of herself as a child in the other woman's history posting, and she happened to have one at home. This made her wonder if she had a twin sister, but her mother replied no. Then she pulled out an old photo album to prove to her that they were a family of 5. Mary only had 2 brothers. This made Mary even more puzzled. What the hell is going on here? She told her best friend all about it. She suspected that this woman had stolen her life, but her best friend thought it was absurd, because there are hardly 2 people in the world that look alike, except for twins, so she suggested she'd better go on a field trip. And that's when she also found out that the mystery woman would always bring the relevant positioning with her every post. Thinking about this, she had a bold idea in her head. If she went to the location, would she be able to see her husband? And in order to meet her husband sooner, Mary decided to transform herself from head to toe. Then she went to a hairdresser, under the careful hands of Tony's teacher. She got a haircut that looked just like the mystery woman's. Oh my god, it's so similar. Even Mr. Tony thought it was incredible, and she did it all. Now all she had to do was wait for the mystery woman to update her work. The day she finally saw her update again, but she found that the husband in the photo was in a restaurant, so she immediately followed the location to the place. When she entered the restaurant, she found her husband, who had been dead for 5 years, was actually here, and sitting across from her was the mysterious woman. Watching the woman get up and go to the bathroom, Mary was also ready to follow her to find out what was going on, and when she followed her, she found that she really looked the same as herself.